Breaking news at this hour about the Nasdaq. Longtime Nasdaq CEO Bob Greifeld is apparently set to name co-Nasdaq President Adena Friedman as Chief Operating Officer. Why does that matter? What's important about that? That paves the way for the former company intern to take over as the next chief executive. Fox Business senior correspondent Charlie Gasparino here on that.
Huge story. I'll point out a couple of things. This is in the works. It's likely to be announced in the coming weeks. But we have got to confirm that Mr. Greifeld, the longtime CEO of Nasdaq since 2003, been looking for an heir apparent. He apparently has found the heir apparent. That heir apparent, from what we understand, is Adena Friedman. And here's how it's going to work. She's already president. There are two presidents at Nasdaq.
Her name has been floated.
It's been floated, but here's how he's going to do it. He's going to name her COO, Chief Operating Officer, where most of the major functions of Nasdaq will report to her. And here's what it's going to do. He's going to take that job probably for the next year and a half. Greifeld has told people inside the company, the board members in particular, that he expects to step down in 2017 and give it to Friedman. Now, does this guarantee her the CEO job? I would say no. She is clearly being signaled when this thing happens, and it's going to be announced in the coming weeks. We front-ran this story, we should point out, because it's starting to percolate inside the Nasdaq and elsewhere. So we front-ran this story. It's not happening yet. It's going to happen in a couple of weeks. But if she doesn't do a good job in this role, then it opens up the possibility that someone else is going to come in. They hire someone from the outside.
She'd be the first female to run an exchange.
If this happens as we think it's going to happen, if she lives up to what everybody thinks her potential is, including Bob Greifeld, what this will mean is Adena Friedman will be the first woman CEO on Wall Street. Yes, clearly the first woman who's ever ran a U.S. exchange. And I think there's only one other woman that has run a small exchange globally. But if you talk about Wall Street has not had a woman CEO. Not one. We've had African-American CEOs, Stan O'Neill being one of them at Merrill Lynch, but we've not had women CEOs. It's been a huge issue. Women breaking that glass ceiling, going from the C-suite in a major way to the C-suite to the CEO. Some have gotten pretty close. Sally Krawcheck, when she was at Bank of America.
Very close. I was just about to say this close.
There's been a few of them that have come very close. It hasn't happened yet. If this goes according to plan, and like I said, it's about a year and a half before she would assume that role from her current role, that would be historic. Well, we should point out longtime Nasdaq executive, one of Greifeld's. But one of Greifeld's, part of his team. Well, early on, she went in 2011, went to Carlyle Group, became the CFO. Greifeld brought her back from the Carlyle Group in 2014, and it's always been rumored that she would be the CEO. She was the heir apparent. Greifeld has been very mum on that because there's another president there, Hans Ola. I can never say his last name, so you know what? Go to foxbusiness.com. You will see the entire story.
But the stock right now is up 1.25%.
Yeah, the stock is moving.
Clarity,
the stock is moving on this news, and I would say when this does happen, it's going to be pretty big news. But I think it's a couple weeks away. We still don't.
Can we get an intraday? Perhaps?
Here's the thing, Liz. Usually, when you have something like this happen, like Adena Friedman clearly being the number two COO, she brings her own people in. So my guess is you're going to see other people leave Nasdaq in that role and for her to replace those people. So this is all going to play out. Again, Fox Business Network, we're the first with it. Go to foxbusiness.com. You will get the entire story. But this is actually moving the stock now. And like I said, this will be historic if she gets that job.
Charlie Gasparino breaks it here.
Thank you.
Smashes the story with a baseball hat and maybe even a glass ceiling.
Yes, right.